That is right. I am back and we are starting a regular survival world, no hardcore, nothing like that. I have made a hardcore world to stream on, and this is the spawn. We've spawned right next to some trees, some sheep, and a load of nothing else. Now, you may be wondering where I've been, what I've been up to, why I haven't been uploading, why this is an igniter, and I will answer all those questions, just not all of them right now because, well, I think you'll get bored if you're just listening to me answering questions that I made up in my head. So let's just get started with basic Minecraft and see where this takes us. Okay, that is not too bad of a start. We have some tools, we have some food, and now we're going to head over here because I believe I could hopefully get lucky and find some coal and iron. Oh my goodness, it's an armadillo. I have not seen these yet. Oh wow, this is really cool actually. Do they give you anything? Oh. Well, I think I've killed them for no reason. Oh goodness gracious me, there's a cave there. Just like I hoped for, coal and iron, just like that. That is amazing. So I've taken a boat over to the other side, that's where I just was. And yes, like I had hoped, there is more coal over here. Now I haven't found a lot of iron, but I have found some, which is better than none. So I'm not going to complain. We got 6 and exactly 64 coal currently. So we're doing pretty well for coal so far. Okay, I've had enough of mining coal for now, and as you can see, I can no longer sprint. So that means we're going to need to craft up a furnace, which I think I'm going to actually make a smoker, because that will cook the food just so much faster, so I won't have to wait anywhere near as long. Chuck in some food, and I should craft a bed while I'm at it, because it's getting dark, and I want to be able to sleep the night away. And there we go, we can pick the bed back up and we can grab out our food because it cooks so fast in a smoker. It is now time to explore because I do have somewhat of a plan. Now, the plan is basically I want to start a base in this episode. Now, you'll probably notice it is going to be a long-ish episode, and these episodes probably will be reasonably long. Just gives me a bit more time to work on it, do a bit more in each episode. Now, I want some villages, mainly just to get tools easier, enchanted tools and stuff like that. So that means I'm going to need to find a village, ideally close to a good location for a base that will be rather large, because I would like to build a big base to start off with and not worry about a starter base. I don't have a design or anything like that just yet, but I will come up with something. I do need to get villages and stuff like that before I actually gather materials to start building anything. So let's hope that we can find a village quickly that's in a good area. So I'm looking for a village and I see a woodland mansion. Now I do have gold armor. I found a ruined portal, but what are the odds of just stumbling across a woodland mansion? That was not expected. Now, I don't think I want to go inside because I don't think I will survive, if I'm being completely honest. What does this sort? It only has knockback. Okay. I don't think it's a great idea for me to actually go and try and explore it, but that is a pretty cool find, and I still haven't found a village. So I found a woodland mansion before I found a village. That makes no sense whatsoever. About time I actually find a village. It's not in a great location, if I'm being completely honest, but it's a village and I've been exploring for a decent amount of time that I would have thought I would have found a couple of villages by now. But no, this is the only one I've found. But I definitely think I could work with this and incorporate the mountain into the base somehow. So you know what, I'm going to work with this, and I'm going to get a little villager setup started and start trying to get myself some enchantments and some diamond tools and all that sort of stuff. I won't bore you with too much of it. I'll just show you updates every now and then. So I've been working away at it for a little bit. We have some villagers breeding just in this little area here, and if we turn around, we have a few in some stations. Now this is going to be how I get emeralds. I'm just going to mine, chop down trees. I do have dark oak, so that's not too bad, and then trade sticks for emeralds. It's not too difficult way to get emeralds, and then I'm going to level these guys up to get tools, and then these guys for armor, because well, that's just going to be the easiest thing to do. And then in all these bays over this side is where I'm going to put librarians, so I can get the certain enchantments that I want, like unbreaking, mending, efficiency, probably protection, and silk touch probably, and just stuff like that, just so I can have the enchantments on the tools that I want. That way gathering materials and everything like that is significantly easier. But I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and come back once something interesting has happened. And I've just traded for my first diamond tools, which is a diamond axe, and I did grab a couple of them because why not. And I am getting this one up as well slowly to get some tools from that one as well, but a pickaxe will be next, and let's hope it has some good enchantments, because it would just save time and effort. But now I have these diamond pickaxes, it's going to make chopping the trees down a lot easier and save me a lot of time, because stone ones, they're just quite slow if I'm being completely honest. So once again, I've made more progress. I have some decent diamond tools now. I haven't got armor just yet, but then I do also have a few decent villagers and a few more that I'm trying to get some different enchantments for. Like this one I'm obviously keeping because it's Unbreaking 3, and then I do need to get some diamond armor, because obviously I'm almost unlocked it, but unlocked full diamond armor. But you can see I've obviously unlocked the diamond tools, which is fantastic. We now have a full set of pretty maxed out diamond armor. Obviously still a few enchantments I don't have, like a swift sneak, but I can't obviously get that until I go to an ancient city, and that won't be for a little while. And my tools are also all really good. So now my plan is to move over towards this mountain and start carving it out a little bit and flattening the ground. After 2 hours of digging out this mountain, we have taken a fair chunk out of it, which is going to give us plenty of room. Oh my goodness, let's not do that. Okay, I definitely need to light that up down there. Anyway, it'll give us a heap of room to build our base. But before I do that, obviously, I need to do something I never really do, and that is the reason I got the wool, and build sort of an outline, a bit of a template, I guess, for the base. I still don't have much of an idea, but I'm just going to sort of start placing blocks and something hopefully will come together. Okay, so I've spent probably around an hour on this, probably even a little bit more. I sort of lost track of time. I messed around with lots of different things, and I found a reference image, and then I just started building, obviously just out of wool to outline it, and I've got this, and it it is quite large. I'll use FreeCam really quick, but this is what we have. Now, it is, yeah, quite big, and it is a bit of an interesting shape, and I've never really built anything like this before, so I actually think this is looking really cool. Now, I think I want to add one more of these sort of shapes up top here that will go a little bit higher than these two things here, and then that'll pretty much be the base shape done for the mega base. So the top bit didn't go as high as I sort of thought it would, but I do like it on there. I do think it needs to be like as a part of the build, and I'm probably going to add more bits behind it, and that I just need to figure out how to do it. But for now, I think I'm going to step back from this, and I think it's time to go get myself an elytra. now have elytra and we can fly around, which makes life so much easier, and getting around will just be so much better and a lot quicker. But we also got a bunch of other stuff while we were there. We got a heap of shulker shells, some spare elytras, and a bunch of spare tools and armor, which is really handy, and a bunch of ender chests as well, which is very nice. But I'm going to quickly do a little bit more building and outlining and digging to the base, and yeah, and then we can maybe start figuring out what we're going to build it out of. That's probably a good idea. So there is the new top bit I've added, and I think it's looking alright. Now it's gonna take a bit to actually look like a base because creeper holes, because well, it's all out of just wool so far. But I definitely think that this is starting to become quite large, which clearly it is. I want to start figuring out what I want to build this out of and start gathering some of those materials. Now I know a couple things I think I want. I'm just going to start gathering things, and if I get things that I don't end up using, then that's fine. I can use it for something else. Okay, so first material I've gotten is a full shulker box of birch logs, because part of these towers are going to be used birch wood. Not anywhere near that much, but you know what, I thought may as well get a heap, because there may be other places in this build or in other builds that I want birch. And after accidentally breaking a pickaxe, we have almost 2 shulker boxes of sandstone, so that is lovely. So that is roughly the blocks that I will be using for these 2 towers here, possibly the ones up there, not sure just yet. So now I want to gather some deep slate, and flying back over with 3 more shulker boxes, we have cobble, deep slate, and tough. This has been taking a decent amount of time because I don't have any really quick way of getting all these things. It's just go out and manually get it. Now, I also do want to get some cobblestone, which I don't think I have any because I think I used Silk Touch for all of this, and the chests are broken. Okay, I just need a little bit of cobblestone, and I don't really think I have any. I don't remember. I'm gonna have a quick look. Okay, it looks like I have a little bit, but not probably what will be enough. So that is next, gathering some cobblestone. And we have a box of cobblestone, and also some andesite. Not sure if I'll use the andesite or not, but I got it just in case I do decide to use it. I think it's time to finally start placing some blocks. So I forgot my shears. Let me grab them. Okay, I've got my shears. Now what I'm gonna do is just grab stone, and on this first layer just fill it all in with stone pretty much, because like this whole first blue layer, and then I'll do all the detailing later. So to start with, I'll just get the base foundation in, and then the detailing will all come later, because well, I think it's going to be easier if I just get everything in and then try and detail afterwards. The stone section is done, and yes, it looks very plain, and that is simply because it is very plain. It is just stone. That's all it is. That didn't take too long. I think I might do is I might just do it out of cobbled deep slate and deal with the detailing and all that later. The cobbled deep slate layer is in, and it does at the moment look a bit interesting, but like I said, once I add in the details and all that, it should start to look better. At least I hope that's the case. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use smooth sandstone and build out these towers next, and figure out what I want to do for up here. That yellow one might just be stone. I'm really not sure. Okay, I will admit, at the moment, it looks pretty terrible if I'm being completely honest, but I do think once I add detail and the ideas I do have, I definitely think it will start to come together. So, there's my voice. I tried that bit with spruce wood and I didn't like it. It didn't look right. But I think this is going to look not too bad, because you'll be able to see, because that'll be a decent amount of green with moss and stuff like that. So I think that will look good. Now I'm not sure. I'm thinking that red bit will also need to be stone. And then this blue bit, not sure. I think I'll do sandstone again for these yellow towers up here, because I think that'll just look good, and I'll figure out this blue bit. But this red bit, I'm thinking stone once again, and stone is exactly what I did for that bit. But I've done more, and slightly got carried away. I decided that very top bit was going to be copper. Now, it does look very bad at the moment because it's just plain regular copper, but once this all oxidizes and I add detail to it, maybe some other different blocks, maybe some of the blue blocks from the nether, whatever they're called, I think it will look pretty good. I have added a few little details into here. As you can see, I couldn't look at it so flat. And also, this is what the top of the towers is going to look like. It's a lot better than that. I think it looks really, really good, and it is going to be out of yellow, not just wool. It's going to have detail, it's going to have concrete, it's going to have terracotta. All right, so the top bits are now built because part of them are going to be yellow wool. I need to start detailing. I've been putting this off. I've been just sitting, running around, looking at it. It's like, where do I start? When do I start? And I've just got to go ahead and start and hope for the best. This is what we have got so far. You can see the moss transitions up into cobblestone, the mossy cobble, andesite stone, and then up here into tough into the cobble deep slate. That doesn't look too bad. Not overly happy about the moss part in the middle. It sort of just doesn't make sense, and you can't even really tell that it's sort of sticking out. So not overly happy about that. Probably maybe just get rid of the moss. Not really sure. And then the towers, I am really happy with how they look. I think it looks super cool. It sort of just has a weathered sort of look, and I think it looks super cool. Done it on these ones as well. It was actually quite fun to do, and it took quite a while. Okay, so I've decided this stone bit up here, I just don't like it. I just don't think that it's going to work. That top bit, that can stay for now at least. It may possibly change, but this stone bit, that has to go. I don't know what I'll put there, but it will go. But before I do that, I need to figure out what's going here. But my idea is a bit of a pedestal with beacons on top of it. Now, ideally, I would like 2 diamond beacons. That's going to be quite difficult to do, but I will work towards that. It probably won't be this first episode. I know I'm doing a lot in one episode, and not every episode is going to be like this, but I just want the first one to be a reasonably long one and lots of stuff. But what I'm actually going to do now is go and get at least 1 beacon. Now I may try and get 2. It just depends how quickly I can get these skulls, but if I can get them pretty quickly, then I will grab 2. If not, I will just get 1. Oh my goodness. Oh, great. Just amazing. Wow. Okay, well, that's skull number 1, but now they're mad at me and I can't eat food. Okay. Well, that was a little bit unexpected, actually. I stopped recording for like 2 minutes and I got 2 more skulls. So, yeah, that happens sometimes. It didn't take too long and I'm still being chased by the angry people and I'm gonna die here. I gotta get away. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try and get another 3 skulls if possible, because that didn't take too long. And I'm gonna try not to die. So, I spoke too soon. Okay, so I went back and got my gear and ended up with 6 wither skeleton skulls because I killed some more. And I was a little bit more careful this time. I don't have my arrow. My arrow's gone. Okay, great. I'll need to go get a new one. I didn't even realize that where did I must have put that in a chest. I don't know. Anyway, I got the 6 skulls because I want a beacon for there and there, like I said. Yeah, I was a bit more careful about it. I wasn't recording, so I was sort of just more paying attention to what I was doing and trying not to die. But I do need to actually go kill the withers at some point, but I'll do that when I feel like it. These are the 2 pedestals, I guess you could call them, where my beacons are going to. Why? I actually think that they look pretty cool. Now, the tops aren't quite finished. I still need to fill in the top with smooth quartz, but I'm just waiting for that to smelt up. It is taking its time, but it'll get there eventually. But I've decided the only beacon that I will be happy with on top of there are 2 diamond beacons. Now, that is a lot of diamonds needed, and I do want it for the thumbnail, so I'm going to have to do a lot of mining. Now, I could make, what do you call it? Tunnel bores, but I don't feel like doing that. So I'm most likely going to have to do lots of hours of strip mining, which is painful and going to be very tedious and make this episode take a lot longer, but I'm going to just do it. Okay, yes, this is being recorded on Christmas. It is actually Christmas Day for me right now. That's fine. I have done a bit of mining. As you can see, it is nowhere near enough, but it is a decent start, and I'm grabbing all the ores because, well, they're gonna all be useful. But I've realized my tools are breaking, and I don't really have at the moment a way of getting good XP. I've got the villagers, but it is reasonably difficult to actually get XP from them. So we're gonna head to the end and build an Enderman farm right now. And just like that, we have a very loud, but very working XP farm that is going to do us pretty well for probably quite a while. It gets us plenty of XP very quickly, and also any ender pearls that we may need, it'll have us covered, which is absolutely perfect. But I'm going to go back to doing more mining because that's what I've been doing the last like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm going to do more. Okay, so if my maths is correct, and it could be, but also it will come down to a little bit of luck with fortune, I think I've mined enough diamonds to where I can make 2 full beacons. Now, I may have done the maths wrong, but let's hope that I didn't and that we actually have enough. So I am going to just divide these up into a chest or 2 real quick, just to look at them all together. So this is the look at the ores. That is a lot of diamond ore, you know, a bit of lapis, decent amount of gold, and a ridiculous amount of redstone, and an alright amount of iron as well. But oh my goodness, is that a lot of ore, which I now have to mine up with fortune. My goodness, is that a lot of diamonds and other ores. And then there is also the redstone. So there is a ridiculous amount of redstone. My calculations were correct, and I do have plenty of diamonds to make the 2 diamond beacons, and I think that looks super cool. It just adds another pop of color, which I think is pretty cool. The white sort of looked fine, and then adding in the blue, I actually really like it. Now I know it sort of doesn't really make sense, but like, what about this does make sense? Also, I detailed these top bits, which just, you know, make them look a little bit better. They're not perfect still, but, you know, what can I do? I need the actual beacon, and also I need to fix that bit there and the stone bit up the top, and I'll become pretty happy. But also the blue, once there's a bit of blue up there, I think that will help match the beacons into sort of fit it in a little bit better. Now it is time to go ahead and kill the wither 2 times.
This was meant to go smoothly. Now I thought I could simply come down here to the bottom of the world, grab my bow, run back a little bit and start shooting the wither once it has gone through its first little phase. And well, I guess to start with, that did start working because, well, the bow is always the best way to start. But it becomes a problem once I decide to go in to do melee. Once that I was finished with the bow phase, I used my axe. Why did I not use my sword? I have no idea. The axe just was what I had, so I used it. And then I got my sword and got up close. I thought this is going to be easy, but I was wrong. It was not. So I came back, grabbed an ender pearl. I was like, let's just get down there as quick as possible. Failed the first one, but the second one gets us down there. And I realize everything is gone.
Oh. Okay, so I just went ahead and grinded out, got all my gear back, and I went and just killed the withers because, well, I was kind of focusing on trying to record it and do it at the same time, and it just wasn't working for me. So I thought I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and also, well, I did actually, because the three wither skulls blew up, I did go back and get 3 more because I wanted 2, obviously, because, well, everything blew up and the wither skulls were with me. So I got 2 more of them. It took me multiple hours, but that is fine. We're now back to where we were, and I can go ahead and make 2 beacons just like that. Now I can get rid of that, I don't need it. And of course we are going to we'll just use diamonds to activate the beacons because, well, that's the only logical thing to do, and there is invisible ground. I love when that happens. So let's go ahead and place beacon number 1 over here. There we go, get the achievement, and beacon number 2 over this side here, just like that. I stopped recording for a little bit and just did a bit of work on the base, tidying up a few things, changing a few things, fixing a few things, and here is what we are working with now. The entrance down here is slightly changed. It is just a bit more almost visible. This bit up here that I was not happy with, I am now happy with it. It is a nice triangle entrance, and I think it sort of just adds to this middle bit, and I do actually quite like it. Now, this stone bit that was up the top is now gone, and it is replaced with a bit of a wall, which I think is perfect because it sort of just changes up a bit. It was a lot of just sort of staircasey pyramid type thing, and now that it has a bit of a change in it, I think it is absolutely perfect, and I absolutely love what I've done with it. And then there's a bit of a floor up here, and the walls do go down on either side, and I'm just super happy with the sort of design that I've come up with. I've spent a little bit more time, what are you doing? Working on the base. I've added a bunch of leaves, sort of in a vine sort of design going all over it, and I think it looks good. A lot of it, this sort of stuff was just looking a little bit sort of plain, so I thought, you know, leaves in a vine sort of jungly overgrown style looks good. The only problem I'm having now is the towers. They are, I'm reasonably happy with them, and the tops are just a little bit plain, but I can't for the life of me figure out what sort of detail that it needs. I tried a window, it looked terrible, it just didn't make any sense, so I'm still trying to figure that out. So I slightly rounded off the corners of each of these towers, but I've realized that I'm not happy with the top whatsoever. I just do not like how they look, so it is time to finally change them and hopefully make them look much better. And I am significantly more happy with that. It doesn't really make sense, but what about this base again? Like I've probably already said before, makes sense. Absolutely nothing, but I think it looks super, super cool. We have a bit more of the copper blue up here just to fit in with here, and the beacons just a little bit. And now that this is pretty much fully oxidized, I can go ahead and add the detail to that, which is fantastic. But I like these little roof bits a lot more than the yellow because, well, the color just fits in more, and there is probably more detail and stuff I can do to it in the future. But for now, I am quite happy with that, and we are getting very close to the exterior of this base being pretty much finished. The detailing for the copper area is done, and it's now mostly not really actually copper. It is a lot of whatever this block is called, I can never remember, and we got some wool and some wood in there, but I think this looks so much better. Just makes the top bit not as plain, and we do have one of these entrances here as well because, well, you know, there's going to be stuff up here. I don't know what's going to be in here, or 3 other layers down below. So this is like a 4-layered mega base, which is pretty cool, with the 4 separate towers as well, which is also pretty cool. And then I added a bit of the wall around here and a staircase to get up here. We are almost finished. That's right, the first episode is finally almost finished after spending almost 500 days on it. So before we do finish this episode, this here is really bothering me, so I need to go ahead and change this up. Building up a bit of a custom sort of cliff face sort of thing. Probably going to be mostly out of stone. I might add a little bit of detail into it, a bit of andesite. That is the plan for now. Make this not look like it's just been sliced out of the world. Considering this is the first time I have ever tried to build any sort of natural looking cliff, I am really happy with how this looks. It doesn't look like just a random chunk taken out of the mountain anymore. It actually looks quite cool, and I am really happy with it. So at the base of this, there are, yes, mobs spawning, but I want to add a bit of mud and stuff just around the base of it, and then I think I want to extend some moss out and maybe just have a path going through here as well. So I need to go to a mangrove swamp because, well, that's going to be the easiest way for me to get some mud. And here we go. That wasn't difficult at all to find a mangrove swamp. So we've got some mud, but I realized I don't want it to be mud. I want it to be packed mud, and I also want some coarse dirt as well. So we'll make some of that, and then we'll come over here and we will harvest our wheat farm that we have. So what I'm sort of thinking is just this first, you know, couple little bits being the coarse dirt. So if we then, you know, get rid of a little bit of the next layer, let's not break that. Let's just see, and then, you know, we can have some coarse dirt spilling out past it, and maybe I think this works. Let's step back and sleep. Yeah, I think this will look good. I am pretty happy with how this looks. I just feel like at the bottom of this, it needs to be a little bit sort of dirty and muddy. And now I'm gonna go along with some bone meal and hope that this doesn't look too bad. And it is now a little bit lit up, which it is not quite as dark, but I think it looks a lot better with that little bit of light in there. It's sort of, it looks a little bit foggy, and I really like it. I think that this base is coming together so well, and I am now done with this episode. I have spent way too long on this one episode. I've been working on it for a couple of months, and we are finally done for episode 1. Doesn't necessarily mean the outside of the base is finished, because it probably isn't, but I am at a point where I'm happy to say that for now, done. So if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like down below. It has been a while since I've uploaded a video, and I've spent a long time on this one, so I would really appreciate if you watch the whole thing, if you would leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But with that said, my name is Onyx, and I will see you next time. What? Okay, there we go. Now it works.